Hello and welcome to the boat shed. Today we are up in the cockpit working on some old teak and we get a little help from our friends. Stick around. If you're new here, my name is John and this boat is Antidote. Now I am not a pro boat builder, I'm an engineer and a sailor with a dream of fixing up this old boat to go sailing around the world someday, but we've got a lot of work to do first. I've said this before, but one of the best parts about putting this whole process on YouTube has been just meeting all these great people and receiving so much support from people. Now I'm so bad at asking for help, but a couple of folks have asked to help out with a project here on the boat, and so I said, let's do it. So the project today is to take a look at these teak pads in the cockpit. Now I ran into a gentleman at the Vancouver International Boat Show who offered to help with these teak pads, and he has a company that does new synthetic teak decks. What we want to do today is just sort of start by opening up all the screw threads and the holes for the bungs just to see what kind of condition everything is in. It's possible that we'll leave the teak where it is, but we also could replace it. Either way, we're going to be refilling them with epoxy and replacing the plugs. So we'll start with that now, and I think I hear someone pulling up. So this, everybody, is Jeff, and he's a friend that came to the channel just by watching these videos and reached out, I guess it was like over a year and a half ago, just to check in, and you were local.
Doing my own boat project.
That's
so
right.
Getting ideas off of different YouTube channels and
Right on.
different things. So
last spring I had the opportunity to head up to see Jeff's project, and he was just finishing, which is very inspiring. And so he had this awesome shed like this one that we pulled down and then set that boat in the water a couple of weeks later.
yeah, we launched in May and had the summer to do some shakedown cruises.
Awesome.
And hopefully go to Alaska this summer.
That's great. That's great.
That's the plan.
Awesome. So that's really inspiring for me to see people get to the finish line, or I guess it's never finished, but so Jess offered to come and give a little bit of help today. So we're going to get working on these screws. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
All right. Well, that has all the screws removed except for the floor of the cockpit. We're going to do that in a minute. But there were a couple of interesting things that came up along the way. Most of them came out pretty clean, but this end car on the Traveler actually was blocking one of the holes. And when I took this bolt out, I heard a nut drop in there. I assumed that this whole Traveler was bolted in through a brass plate, sort of like how the bulwarks have been done in other parts of the boat. This is just put together with traditional fasteners and nuts on the back. And without taking the headliner down, there's really no way to access this again. So thankfully I can still reach these bolts through some of these old access hatches, but the majority of these are going to be out of reach unless we take the headliner down, which we don't really plan on doing. So these are probably going to stay where they are, but good to know. I'm just glad that didn't end up being more of a detour. So we'll be able to replace these bolts here. So now we're able to take a look underneath these teak pads and see what kind of shape we have underneath, and also just template these for the replacement pads. Now to remove the teak, all you do is pull up like that, at least on this one. So the adhesive has clearly failed. I'm not sure if the rest of it will be this easy, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see how it goes. And we're gonna save some of the fun for when our guest gets here tomorrow. So I do wanna finish, because the sole of the cockpit is the last thing to do. So we're gonna take this pedestal off, so let's work on that. One thing that I've learned while working on boats over the years has been that you have to abandon the concept of a permanent repair. So when I put this trim ring on, I used butyl tape, and I'm really glad that I did because it is, in theory, removable. I cannot get it off by hand, I think because it's so cold in here, it's 45 degrees. But if I would have used a sealant like 5200, 4200, this would just never come off. Something to think about. We'll see if we can get this cracked off. We're going to use a little bit of heat to help along here. Well, this trim ring is not coming off as easy as I had hoped it would. Even with a little bit of heat, I'm sure we could keep working at it, but I think in the interest of time, we'll try to pull the pedestal off as one piece. So I'm gonna undo these two control cables in here. We'll go down below and at the quadrant, let the cables loose a bit just so I can pull the chain up, get to the master link, open it up, and then everything should hopefully come apart. We'll see. Let's say hi to a couple of the new Patreon crew members that really help keep this channel humming along. If you're interested in some behind the scenes updates and ad-free videos, then you can check out the Patreon link in the description down below. The folks whose names are appearing on the screen now go the extra mile to keep this channel moving, and I couldn't do it without you. Thanks all so much. Back to the video. Pedestal's off clean and we are ready to meet Jan, and here he is. We met at the Vancouver International Boat Show. Jan reached out and said he wanted to help with these cockpit TEAK pads. So that's very generous, Jan. I'm very thankful for that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're doing here?
So what I do is the synthetic decking. It's the product's called Permateek. It's from England. It's all PVC. They use virgin material to ensure color quality and that sort of thing. It doesn't fade, stain, or crack, and I've been doing it full-time for about 8 years now.
Very cool. Now, what is this that we have here?
So this is my patterning material. It's just a reinforced plastic. It's the same material that canvas people use to mock up biminis and dodgers and stuff. So it doesn't stretch. When I bring it back to the shop, I know it hasn't distorted. It just keeps its shape.
So the plan today then is to template these, maybe rip a few out just to see how deep they are.
Yep.
And then grab a burger and a beer.
Perfect.
All right, sounds good. Let's get to work.
All right. So the next thing is patterning it. We'll lay our patterning material above. And then it's just a function of looking through it and marking where you think it's going to go. It's not going to be the final piece. That'll just get all straightened out and create all the lines in the shop, but at least this will be the rough piece. Always do an arrow towards the bow, and I'll just call this piece mast. That's it. Once it gets to my shop, I'll connect all the dots and build it.
Great, Jan. So we've got all the patterns down. They look awesome. So I guess the next step is I'll get you to have a head start down at the shop, and then we'll catch up with you later.
Yep, I'm going to start prepping, and we'll keep a couple of things for you to do when you get there.
Sounds good. Well, it was kind of strange for me to watch you do all the hard work today. I'm not used to that, so thanks a lot for your help.
No, you're welcome.
All right,
Glad I could help.
Okay, let's grab a beer.
Awesome.
While we are doing that, this seems like a great time to ask you to hit that like button for me. It really does help the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it very much. So thank you. Now, you've probably already figured out we've decided to press ahead with removing these old teak panels. As we started to remove some of the screws, it became obvious that a lot of these were just lifting up. And with the help here that's being offered by Jan, it seems to make a lot of sense. So on we go, and then hopefully in the end we're going to have a really nice finished product here with no screws holding the deck down. Well, I don't think there's screws. I haven't talked to Jan how this works yet, but let's hope not. Jan and I did have a chance to remove more of these panels before calling it a day, and I was very surprised to find that underneath some of these, some of them were quite saturated, other ones seemed to indicate that they were just totally fine. So I'm sure we'll dig into this more in a future video, no pun intended, but for now, on with the show. It's been a couple of weeks now since Jan was up at the boat shed, templating and measuring for those Permateek panels on Antidote. And now today we're actually heading down to his workshop in Bremerton, Washington. So right now we're lined up at the Kingston Edmonds Ferry, and we are going to blast across to go see what it is that he does there and take a look at what's been done for Antidote, and possibly I'll try my hand at welding Permateek panels together. That could be kind of fun. So I think I hear the boat is pulling up now, so let's get aboard and continue our journey. Hey, you're looking for Jan.
Hey,
Hey man, how's it going?
glad you made it.
Yeah, thanks, good to see you again.
Yeah.
So this is the shop.
This is it.
All right, well let's, can we take a look around?
Yep, come on.
Let's do it. So this piece here, is this like a real piece of teak that you're trying to pattern and copy, or?
No, it's a display piece I used for the Seattle Boat Show.
So this is Permateek?
That's Permateek, yep.
Why is this? Oh, it's been like edge wrapped.
It's got a little edge band, yep.
Oh wow, that's
And then
amazing. It really looks like actual teak to me.
It's the whole idea, yeah, make it look real.
That's incredible. That's really neat work. Okay, well I'm excited to see what we got here.
So yeah, this is my weld table.
Okay.
So we got the straight edge to
Yeah.
keep everything nice and straight. Got weights to keep the material flat, and my dispenser for the weld cord.
Oh, this is the weld cord here?
Yes. So
okay.
it comes in 3 different colors: the black, the gray, and the off-white.
It's actually just like cord of PVC.
Yep.
Interesting, okay.
Heat gun, belt sander. That's how I finish all the edges.
That's a classic tool right there.
So the Leister heat gun. This is what I use to weld the material together. Thermally heat weld it.
Wow, I've never seen anything like that before.
It gets pretty darn hard. I think it's like 1600 watt.
So it's just a big flat tip on there? Oh no, it's like, it actually...
Yeah, the weld cord goes in.
Oh.
And then it thermally heats.
Cool.
Basically melts it.
Okay, well I guess we're gonna hopefully show that later.
Yes. And a little guillotine if you gotta do some 90s, cut small pieces.
Cool. And this is it.
This is your project.
Wow, look at that. That's a lot of work you've done.
It goes quickly. It's once you get started, you just keep rolling.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm really impressed. These are made out of different panels?
Yeah, so the small one is a roll of 3 plank, so I didn't have to weld these small pieces. The larger pieces, you can see two welds on this one.
So they're like multiples of these.
Right, yeah. When I buy it from England, I can either buy it in single, double, or three wide plank. Obviously, the single you have to do more welding, but
yeah.
And then on this piece, I've also done a little back welding, so it just reinforces corners.
Right. Okay, I see.
That sort of thing.
Cool. And so this is made up of like 8 or 9 pieces of material.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So you got border piece here, all the way around, different pieces. A 3 plank there, a single plank there, a single there, and then a smaller king plank in the center to marry the 2 sides together.
Right. And so when you're building these ones with the borders and you have these edge pieces, you have to basically build like it was real teak. You have a bigger piece that you start with.
Correct. You do all the interior work first, and then you end off cutting it to accommodate the width of the margin plank. I do all the straight runs first, and then for these pieces, this would have been a rectangle initially. Once it's welded in position, then you cut it after the fact.
Right. So in the end, it looks just like a typical traditional teak installation.
Yep. It's the same format.
Wow, really cool. Well, this is going to look great. So this is the whole cockpit layout for Antidote, and then we have also the forward pad for the mast.
Yep.
Great. And so all that's left to do is the side decks.
Side decks. Well, let someone else do that one.
Well, I am amazed at how real this stuff looks, because I kind of consider myself to be a bit of a purist, and I don't really like synthetic woods, but I can not tell a difference here.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea, is to make it look like real wood, but keep the maintenance down.
Yeah. And then what happens though if I like drop something on it? Does it can't, like I'm sure it can be damaged.
I am able to cut pieces out and re-weld things back on top and sand it out, and you'd never know anything was damaged.
Well, that's kind of nice. And then when you put this in, you just use a couple thousand screws from the top.
No screws.
No screws.
No screws required.
What an amazing idea.
Once you apply the bedding and it gets sucked down, just a few weights on the top, that's all you need to.
Right. So we're going to put this down with a big sort of adhesive of some sort, polymer adhesive.
Yep. So 1 part polymer and trowel it so it's 100% coverage from the bottom.
Nice.
And then roll it out just like linoleum.
Well, I know that even with modern teak, they're not putting it down with screws anymore, but I'm happy to hear that we're not planning to screw anything into the deck, because I've spent a lot of time trying to fix that on Antidote.
Yeah.
Cool. Can we see how this works?
Yeah.
Can we do some...
Of course, yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Set it up. We lay out the pieces on the table, and I've got a straight edge on the back.
So these are the 3...
Yeah, so this is a 3 plank.
Okay.
And we use the weights to get it nice and tight to the back. And then I go down the entire seam as well.
And do you have to leave a gap here of a known thickness?
Yeah, initially what we do is we have it about 3/8 to 1/2 inch away, and we'll get everything lined up. And then I'll get the heat gun, and then I'll just blow everything out, because this blows as well. I'm heating up the material, getting any debris, and then once you've cleaned it, then we grab it from the center and just push them together and just work your way down the entire edge.
Nice.
Then I also take another piece and I just give it a little tap.
So it looks like the pieces are designed with the caulk already on one side, but then when they press together, the gap is established.
Yeah, so each edge is concave, and when you butt them up together, it creates a channel.
So you already have a welding path in there.
Correct. And at that point, we do the same thing. Now that they're butted together, I use my hand just to feel and make sure that it's pressed down.
Right.
And then this is also heating up the materials one more time. Once that's completed, then we bring out the weld cord, heating this thing up as well. You want both materials, so both the deck and the core to be preheated a little bit. And then at that point, I'm ready to go. Just need my respirator. Then you're off to the races. Then you just start at one end and keep a consistent speed. And I'm just watching that it melts on the edge. And that's about it.
Cool. So that's a permanent bond.
It's permanent. And it's instant too. You don't have to wait. Once all the welding is done from the bottom, then we flip it over, put the pattern on top, transfer the pattern onto it, cut it out, and then at that point, sand the edges and you're finished, or cut it out even more and then put a border around the perimeter.
Okay.
The next step basically is I want to make sure that this weld is not above the height of the deck. So this is another English tool. It's called a Mozart, and this cuts it flush. Flip it over.
Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
And that's how it's done.
It looks like it's one piece. It really does.
You can try to rip it apart too.
See, there's a joint here, so I can just rip on this?
Yep. Try to break it.
Oh my goodness. That's okay, yeah, I believe you. That's not coming apart.
No.
Wow. That's amazing.
And the thing is, it's all bedded down too. So
right, then it's all glued down. Yeah, right, exactly.
So now I'm adjusting the heat. We're going to do one piece of top welding so you can see what that looks like.
Okay.
So this is a step, but same process where you just got to put the weights on, get it all nice and flat. When I order stuff, I can buy margin boards with a rabbet.
Oh, okay.
And so that comes with it, but I do make my own. I'll take through that machine with has a router bit.
You can just cut a little rabbet in there.
But then once you get it to this point, it's the same deal. Now we can cut it. I like to pull and cut at the same time. Now you can feel it's pretty flush.
Yeah, it feels good. I was just going to ask you how you sand it without ruining the grain line. So you do an orbital.
Yeah. But less is more. I just do it just enough. Because any mark you put there, you gotta resand out.
Yeah,
so
right.
I use my weights to create a block. I get my sandpaper and then I go with the grain. I'm sanding to the caulk seam. That's why, anytime you do borders, we charge extra. It's about a third more because it is much more labor intensive.
It's just a lot of extra time to put all these borders in all the way around, especially. Yeah, it makes sense.
And a lot more sanding.
Yeah.
So I've already preheated things, so
I think it's ready to go.
Yep. So you can just
take two. I think that went better that second time.
Yeah.
All right, we got one. Yep. Well, that's definitely a bit of a learning curve, but that's cool. Thanks for letting me try that.
Yeah.
All right, well, so second time, a little better than the first.
Yep. No, you did good.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to put you out of a job just yet, but really, really cool. Well, thanks Jan and Seamist Marine for hosting us today and helping out with some of the product, and of course Permateek for supplying the material.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Very
Appreciate
cool.
it.
All right, let's go get a burger or something.
All right, sounds good.
Apparently in this week's video, I am very hungry and thirsty. Well, what a great day working with Jan on the boat and bringing some hardware home for Antidote here. So I got to explore a little bit of the area around Jan's shop, a place I don't normally get to go to. We even did go check out his boat to see some of the work that he's already done, so I could get kind of an idea of how it might look on Antidote. And yes, we did have that beer. Jan and his wife are planning on doing some cruising in the area this summer and then hopefully on from there. So Jan, all the best for you, my friend. And now you're probably wondering how these things look. They're not fully installed yet, but you do get the idea. They look and feel really good. So I'm very excited about these. And before we get on with the installation, we're gonna wanna check underneath all the pads and make sure that the area underneath is okay. There's no water damage, that sort of thing. So that'll be coming up in a future video. Now, if you're really interested to know more about the installation procedure, I don't blame you. And that will be coming up in a future video. But if you are really in a hurry to see some of that and you're watching the Duracell project, which I hope that all of you are, and we'll link them in the description down below, Well, if you check out the video they're releasing on Wednesday, and we'll put a link to it up here in case it's already dropped, you might just want to watch that video. Now, huge thanks to Jan, Jeff, Seamist Marine, Permateek, all of the patrons, of course, you watching. And if you are just getting caught up and you want to go to the very beginning of the story, you can check out this playlist right here. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel for more, we'd love to have you. Buttons right there will make it easy for you. See you next time. I'll remove the whole pedestal at once. Very cool. But this is just raw nuts on the back. That sounds weird.